What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? How you doing, dude? Ask any questions. Here to help. I'm just getting a training session in, doing a little bit of upper body. So we're doing lat pull downs here. We're wide grip lat pull downs for the lower division of the lats. Ask any questions. I'm happy to help. All right, this is my last working set. I've already got a little bit of my workout already done. Yeah, ask any questions, guys. Woo, man, felt freaking good. I haven't had a good training session in like a week. So good to finally be in here in my new gym, by the way. This is my own place. So I'll actually be able to make like YouTube videos and stuff a whole lot more often compared to what I was doing. Because dude, let me tell you what, I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried to shoot a video before, like where you're actually talking to the camera. But it's real easy to start turning into like Ricky Bobby and like, I don't know what to do with my hands, you know, like you don't even know what to freaking do. Especially when you got like people in a public gym trying to work out and like, you know, actually be normal people, and then I'm the freaking crazy dude in there with his shirt off. You know, it's just not the easiest environment to focus on, you know? Okay, so any questions? Let's see. Okay, so how many sets per week are needed? So there's an interesting thing. Let me turn this down just a little bit. I love Slipknot, but not while I'm trying to give an explanation here. So how many sets are needed? It's a great question. It is far less than a lot of people think. So there have been studies that have been done, and recently they've become a whole lot more popular as far as what people are posting about online, and I'll fill you in. So if you ever heard people say you need like 52 sets in a week and stuff, it's absolute BS. The studies showed that 3 sets, even 2 sets per week can grow a muscle, okay? That's like the minimum. You can get away with 2 or 3 sets. You could. Now, I'm not suggesting that you just do 2 or 3, but it just shows how low the bar is. So it's kind of tough for me to give you an exact answer because everybody's different. My number of sets will be different from yours. However, the number of sets that you actually do should be approached as such. Start at the low end, bro. Start with like 3 sets on different days. So it's like, you know, you do 2 sets on Monday for chest, and then maybe 1 set for chest on Thursday, the second day of the week, and just ride that out for a little while. See if you're actually getting stronger in the movements. If you do get stronger and you start to see some growth, phenomenal. That's a good way to go about it. From there, maybe you add an extra set, and then you're at 4 per week. Then maybe you add a 5th. But don't just start out with like 15. You don't need to do it that way. I will say, if I'm gonna give you a range so that you can everybody listening can take something away from this. If I was to give you sort of a range, try anywhere between 3 and 10 sets per week. That's it, no more than 10. You don't need more than 10. You just don't. Now, if your training quality sucks, if you're somebody who's going into the gym and you're not really pushing that hard on each set and you're leaving a lot left in the tank, you might need 15. But if you're going in there and training efficiently, or really close to failure, lower sets, 3, maybe 8, 9, 10, just to give you an idea. Okay, any other questions, guys? My favorite upper chest movement, dude. So simple. So simple. An incline chest press is my favorite, okay? But there is a close second for me, and that's actually an incline fly, okay? Now, I have shoulder issues, right? I have shoulder issues. So if you have trouble feeling your upper chest or any issues like that, what you can do, I picked this up from a guy, brilliant guy, Paul Carter, okay? If you do not follow him, you should. An upper pec fly. So if you don't know, the upper pec, it's responsible. You ever seen people do a front raise like this for shoulders, right? That is not a front, that's not for the front delt, okay? Front delt will be used a little bit, but that's not for the front delt. Watch what fires when I do a front raise. Watch this hand, okay? Watch this pec. See that? See that pec fire right there? There you go, you can see the pec fire. But I'm doing a front raise, right? That's because the upper pec pulls your arm up this way. It's the upper pec that's pulling up like this. So what you can do is sort of fly to kind of help mimic that. You do it, single arm, like this right here with a cable or a cuff, okay? Okay, you can do something like this. Now imagine that I was holding on to something else here, okay? Or seated down in a bench, but you can take it and you can go up like this across your body, okay? So I'm pushing forward and then kind of across like this. And that is a great upper pec movement, okay? Just something for y'all to try. Mix it up a little bit, you know? And that's something, dude, I see so much information online that's just awful. So you guys gotta beware. Whoever you follow, you gotta make sure that they know what they're talking about. I'm sure you guys know that it's just it's a shite show out there, so to speak. All right, any other questions here? Okay, what would be the best superset for bicep growth? Who said supersets are a great thing for growth? Who said? It's common knowledge out there, right? Everybody knows that supersets are phenomenal, but are they really? That is the question. So I'm gonna tell you my opinion on them. Supersets are not terrible, but they're not the best, okay? Every single thing that you do in the gym has a cost, okay? And the cost is fatigue, okay? You are always battling fatigue. Fatigue is something you want to keep as low as possible. And so therefore you should choose things in your training that cause the least amount of fatigue. Okay? Your goal is to push a muscle as hard as that muscle can be pushed. You want that muscle to reach its highest level of possible performance. Okay? Let's say, see this red line right here? Let's say this red line right here is the line at which growth happens, okay? So down here is nothing. This is performance of a muscle. And once that muscle reaches this level of performance, that's when it'll grow, okay? So I'm gonna run you through a superset. So a superset, you start off with one exercise, okay? Let's just say bicep curls, and then you're gonna go to, I don't know, another kind of curl. Pick a curl in your mind. Curl 1 and curl 2, we'll just call it that. You start here, you push as hard as you possibly can on that first set, and you reach this level here, okay? You actually are able to get to this level of performance because you don't have fatigue. You're going into it fresh. Well then, you put the first curl dumbbells down and you go do something else, maybe you pick up cables, and now you try to do another set. You're only able to get to this level here, and not all the way up here. And so you see how a superset is just not as good of a choice? Now it's a little bit of an extreme example here. I know that there's a little bit of gray area, but basically just understand this. There is no better choice than to do regular sets with full rest between. No better choice under any circumstances, ever. It's just the best way to go. So if you have the time, do a set, 6 to 8 reps maybe, real close to failure, rest 3 minutes until you're fully freaking recovered, and then do another set. That is always 10 out of 10 times gonna be the best way to build muscle, period. Hope that helped, by the way. Was I clear enough on that? That explanation? Okay, let's see. In case you guys didn't hear, the recommended rep or set range per week was anywhere between 2 to 3 sets on the low end and maybe up to 8, 9, 10 sets on the higher end per muscle per week. That's just a good way to go. Thank you so much, dude. The gym, the Rep Fitness Gym, they so kindly sent me all this stuff, dude. They freaking sent me this right here, this squat rack, those lever arms, that bench. They sent me this bench, okay, right here. They sent me this lat pull down with a freaking row thing at the bottom. They sent me this thing here. They sent me all these freaking dumbbells, dude. Like, I am so freaking, look at this. This is like freaking commercial gym quality, dude. I mean, it is. And then I'm blown away, man, because, dude, like, it's weird to me because I'm just a guy who bought a camera. Like, I bought a camera. I started learning how to edit videos. I started posting them, and you guys have seen them, I'm sure, if you're watching my stuff, if you're here now. And for a company to go, yo, we want to send you this stuff, like $30,000 worth of stuff, I'm just sitting there like, yes, thank you, and I'm just freaking blessed to be able to do it, I don't ever want to take it for granted, man. I don't want to get to the point where I don't realize how cool that really is, because that's like a dream, dude, Anyways, enough of that. Yeah, I'll answer any questions, guys. See anything good here. Let's see, I look better tonight. Hey, thank you so much for joining my program, dude. By the way, if any of you guys are on my app, I gotta tell you something. My app is getting a huge facelift, bro. Like, it's a whole new app. I'm using a whole new set of developers, and we've been working on it for a year now. And we are a couple months away from launching, and it is the most unbelievable experience on a phone for programs I have ever seen. Because listen, I put out real high quality content, right? Like, I make cool edits and stuff. And then when people sign on to my app to get a program, I kind of want them to feel like, oh, this app looks good enough to be one of Davis's, things. Yeah, it's like, I want them to kind of match. I don't want them to log on and be like, this is the app? It kind of looks like Microsoft 2005. I look at all these cool edits, and now this is the app. It just doesn't quite match. So this is just going to be, I don't know, dude, just an awesome launch. So if you guys are watching this right now, I'll have a free week in my app where you can just go in and just see it. And it feels like no other app you've ever seen. It's unbelievable. The visual's just amazing. Okay, great question here. How many separate exercises do you really need to work the entirety of the lats? Is 1 to 2 enough? I don't want to spend more than 3 hours in the gym. I got some good news for you. So, if you want to keep lat training simple, here's what you need to know. The lats have 2 primary functions. 2 primary functions that we train in bodybuilding, right? Number 1 is this, okay? Frontal plane adduction, where your arms are being pulled from out here down into the side of your body. And what movement would do that? Watch my upper arm. See this? That looks like a wide grip pull down, doesn't it? That's what it is. So that's going to train more of the lower lat here and the mid lat. So from here to here more, okay? That's what those are going to train. So if you do that once a week, phenomenal. The other lat exercise that you probably should do is this. Maybe something like a dumbbell row. Because the other function of the lat is this. Boom, pulling the arm down, okay? And what does that look like? A row. You see, look at my upper arm. This is the same as this, okay? And so choose one sagittal plane, that's what that's called, a sagittal plane row, where you're pulling towards your body, and one frontal plane, that's what that is, pull down like this. If you do that, you will target everything, okay? You could do 2 sets of that on Monday and 2 sets of the row on Thursday and cover all your bases for lats. You do not need to do more than that, seriously. I'm only doing 6 sets, 5 to 6 sets of lats per week, and my lats have grown. And for me to see growth at this point in my career as an advanced trainee it's my training has to be on point if I want to see growth. I can't make mistakes and grow. Beginners can make mistakes and grow because their body is extremely sensitive to growth. They've never trained before, so they could fart and freaking grow. Me, I have to do what works. So that's why me lowering the volume from what I was doing and choosing the most effective stuff has allowed me to continue growing. So I hope that helps you. 2 exercises are all you need. 2 or 3 sets each day. That's it. You don't need more than that. Keep the questions coming, guys. All right, I'll check this out. So I'm gonna show you guys a cool setup that I'm doing here. So this is probably the most convenient upper back movement that I could do. Now watch this here. I'm gonna take this guy. Now here. All right, I'm gonna do an upper back row. And this, yo, are you guys still here? Is it still going or did it pause? Is it still going? Okay, cool. We cut out. All right, so this right here is a great complement to add to a back workout because now we're working on the upper back, right? So what I'm gonna be doing here is a dumbbell low row. Now, this, remember how I was saying a row like this, okay, is gonna target the lats, okay? When my arm is really, really close to my body. Here, let me change the angle so you guys can actually see what the hell I'm talking about here. We'll get it. All right, so this right here, okay, this would be a lat biased row. Pulling right here with the arm close to the body, that's for the lats, okay? But what happens if I move my arms out to the side like this? The lats are no longer in line to pull the arm back. What is in line is all this, the upper back. See that? Here. So that's why after I do my lat work, typically, I'll focus on an upper back row where I drape my sternum at the top of the bench and I allow my arms to be pulled down here, protracting, and then rolling all the way back as far as I freaking can so that I can actually smash those traps together. Okay? So that's the way that works. Yeah, keep the questions coming, guys. Yes, I just saw this question. So I lowered my volume and grew more. Yes, I did. And the reason is because, look, when you're training, you are creating, listen, what you need to understand about training is this. If you want a muscle to grow, you need to put yourself in a position to have that muscle perform at its best capacity. It has to attain a certain level of growth, a certain level of performance, okay? So you have to make sure that you're not doing too much stuff to cause too much fatigue to hold you back. I'll put it to you this way. If you went and ran a marathon today, okay, you ran a marathon, it kills your legs, right? Kills your legs. And then you went to go do a max bench press tomorrow. How do you think you're gonna do on it? Not very good. You're gonna be wiped out because you have built up so much fatigue from all of that volume from the running. It's no different than lifting. If you lift way too much, you're not going to recover well enough so that you can push the muscles that you want to push as hard as you can. So if I go in today, if I absolutely wrecked my body deadlifting, I'm not going to be able to bench press that much tomorrow because I've got so much fatigue, okay? So it's the same thing within a muscle too. If I am doing way too many exercises for my chest every single week, well, my chest is never performing at its best. It might be at 80% its best. And if I, as an advanced athlete, want my chest to actually grow, I am gonna have to make sure that my chest is being pushed at 95%. So by lowering the volume a little bit, my chest is now actually able to recover so that I can push it at that 95%. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of how you need to view it. Your goal is to train in such a way so that your performance is always at its best. That's what it is, okay? How many days per week should I train? Well, I guess I'll just tell you the best answer is going to be 4, 3 or 4. That's the best, 3 or 4 for heavy training. Okay, doesn't mean that you can't do 5 and get great results. Doesn't mean that you can't do 6 and get great results. You can, but the best option is probably going to be 4, 3 or 4. That's the way it is. That's why an upper lower split is the chef's kiss. So is a full body split, by the way. But a full body split is difficult to program for. Very, very difficult. When I put a full body split program together, I have to sit and concentrate because if you don't put a full body split together properly, it could easily go from being the best split to one of the worst. So you have to know what you're doing. And if you get a program from somebody, you have to make sure that they know what they're doing in terms of programming. Because if you get a program from somebody who doesn't, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. Most influencers, I would say 98%, 99, maybe 99 and a half, don't know what they're doing as far as programming is concerned. They really don't. They just don't. And I mean, dude, I'm not trying to sound like holier than thou or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, dude, I know how much I've learned in the past 2 years, and the way that I program now is nothing like I would program back then. So I'm just saying, I know a lot of people just don't know what I've learned in the past couple of years. So anyways, all right, I'm gonna hit this next set. Ask any questions, guys, or I'm gonna do my first set. All right, I'm only gonna do 2 sets for this. Okay, warm up. Hey, I got a question for you guys. If you had to pick, who would be the top 3 people, that you would like to see me do a collab with? Because you see this place, I built this place for collabs. That's what I want to do. I built it for my own videos too, but who would it be? I'm curious. The top 3. Jeff, C-Bum, Joey Swole. Sean, Nelawang. I like Sean. I don't know how to say his name though. Sean, I just recognize his name. I don't know how to say it, but yeah. C-Bum, you know what's funny about C-Bum? He actually lives like an hour away. I'm in South Florida. So he's pretty close. Jeff Nippard, he'd be cool. He'd be cool to have down. Daddy Noel, you know, actually I did already do a collab with Daddy Noel. Noel's a cool dude, by the way. He's really, really down to earth, dude. So I was in the gym, right? I'm sitting in there, right? I'm just sitting in there by myself. Wasn't expecting anything. And I was in Texas. And you know, I was getting ready to head out on my flight the next day. And I'm sitting there doing some you know, videos from my pre-workout by myself in the gym. The gym was dead silent, dead empty. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just hear this. I'm just on my phone, right? And I hear this, hello, hello. And I turn around, I'm like, he's like, how you doing, bro? I'm like, what's up, Noel? And dude, we just sat and talked for like 30 minutes. We got a workout in together, man. We went out and ate together afterwards. And he gave me some great advice on social media and stuff. And we just got to talk. It's just cool being able to talk to somebody who's, you know, trying to do the same type of thing as me, albeit he's doing it at the highest level possible. And dude, he was just, He's as cool as you would imagine he is. Just super easy to talk to. And I'm gonna tell you what about Noel Dazzle. He legitimately cares about what he's doing. Like he actually wants he's in it for the good message for people. Like he genuinely cares how people, take it and live life based off his message, Jesse James, Jesse James would be cool, man. Ooh, I just spit. Jesse would be freaking cool, man. I was actually watching his stuff on YouTube the other night. Let's see. Sean, Noel Dazel, Jeff Nippard, Larry Wheels, Dr. Mike Israetel. Let's see. I don't know if Dr. Mike Israetel would like to do a collab with me. I don't know. What I've found is that a lot of people who have differing training philosophies, which I have different training philosophies than Dr. Mike Israetel to a large extent, but I think that he's great in many regards. I mean, he's an expert communicator, I'll put it to you that way. Expert communicator. I don't know, I just noticed that a lot of people don't do collabs with people that they disagree with a lot. I don't know, that's just what I've noticed. Who else? LeBron James. I don't know if LeBron James is going to be doing some kind of a video with me. Will Tennyson would be cool. Okay. All right, guys. Well, listen, look, here's the deal. If you want me to collab with these people, you should go comment on their videos, okay? And get them to say, look, go collab with so-and-so, okay? We've got somebody really cool coming here not too long, in about 1 month. We got somebody that you all know. But yeah, you guys should you guys should go hit them all up and say, go collab with Davis or whatever. And they'll probably be like, who's that? Oh yeah, that guy. The guy with a bunch of edits and so forth. That's probably all they know. But yeah, man, just fun to think about. All right, guys, ask some more questions. I'm here to help. I'm gonna actually get my working set now. Did someone who should I do a collab with? Osama bin Laden. Oh man, that's good. I don't know why that just hit me. I don't know if that's possible. I think he's checked out. Am I natty? Yes, I am natty. I am. A lot of people don't think so, but I mean, what am I gonna do? Convince them? I know the truth. It is what it is. It's just the way that it is. I almost wasn't at one point. I almost used them. I was this close to using them back in the day. And I'm so freaking happy that I didn't. Because listen, I'm one of those people that I'm pretty extreme, I'm pretty extreme with what I do. So I just know myself, if I would have actually went and used them, I may never have stopped, man. I don't know. I would have taken them and used them to the point where it just wouldn't have been good. I'll put it to you that way. And I was doing strongman. That's why. I'm a professional heavyweight strongman, in case you guys don't know. I only weigh like 200 pounds now, but back then I was 285, overweight for strongman. So I was big on purpose, but in order to be the best in the world, which is what I wanted to do, you have to take a bunch of steroids. And so I was this close to using them, okay? And 2 weeks before I was getting ready to use them, this was 2012, dude. I had a massive back injury. I herniated my L5-S1 disc in my back deadlifting, okay? So I was doing 675 for reps. And I think I was on my 6th or 7th rep, and I was like, okay, one more. And I went down, touched the ground, and came up halfway, and I felt something go in my back, dude. And put the weight down, and dude, I really couldn't walk for like a month after that. I freaking was walking crooked, and it was bad. And yeah, so I came back, and I was able to get as strong as possible after a couple years, but I got hurt again. I'll just put it to you that way. And it just wasn't in the cards for me. And I'm really glad that it went the way that it did. So I wasn't above morally. I wasn't above anybody, you know, in the sense that I never even wanted to do them. No, dude, I was going to, and I'm just very thankful that I didn't. Because if I had, you would not be here right now. I wouldn't be here. You probably wouldn't know who I am, because I wouldn't have gotten into making videos. So if I had to choose between being world's strongest man versus the level of, you know, popularity that my videos have had, I'm gonna choose the way that my life went. 10 out of 10 times, man. 10 out of 10 times. Okay. All right. Let's say incline dumbbell press. Sorry, finish. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. For your sets, this is for Ismail. Listen, I would just keep your reps in the 4 to 8 rep range. That's gonna be your best bet for muscle growth in that realm. Okay, guys, keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. Anything you guys want to talk about, too. Any kind of personal stuff like that, like I was just telling you. Dude, I'm happy to talk to you about it. Because my experience might just help you guys. Because I'm so glad that my life went the way that it did, I'll tell you that. And maybe if you have the same kind of an experience, dude, hey, be good for you. Buddy. What do I think about drop sets? Yeah, so I already went over that. I'll just put it to you this way. Look, drop sets can be fun, but they are not the best for building muscle. Everything for building muscle, drop sets, everything other than regular sets of 4 to 8 reps with 3 minutes of rest or so in between, full recovery. Anything besides that is less ideal, period. So, what do I think of drop sets? Can they be fun? Yeah, but they're not better for growth. Absolutely not better for growth. Woo! How many years of training do you need to be considered advanced? 4 or 5, 6. Depends. It depends on how hard you push. Advanced is not necessarily how many years you've been training. It's your level of development as well. So I would just say anywhere between 4 and 6 years. Just the way that it is. That's just kind of a rough guess. Let's see. Bro, why did I get a notification that you were live? I don't know, dude. This is the first time I've ever gone live on YouTube. So, I don't know, I'm a little, forgive me if I'm a little rusty here. I'm not familiar with all the settings and so forth. So I just kind of pressed go live. Whew. So the best way to gain strength, look, man, if you guys want to get stronger in a movement, like if you want to strength train, pick the movement that you want to get stronger at and always do that movement, because that movement is a skill, okay? And like bench press. Bench pressing is a skill, okay? If you wanted to get good at a skill like throwing a football, would you throw a football today, bounce a basketball tomorrow, kick a soccer ball the third day? No. You would always throw a football. So if you have a movement that you really want to master, like bench press, include it in your program 2 to 3 days per week, okay? You have to do it very carefully. You can't do too much volume each time you do it if you're doing it 3 days per week. But that's what strength training is all about. Strength training is about doing frequent movements pretty frequently and staying a pretty decent distance away from failure, okay? So if you're gonna do something like 3 sets of 5 on Monday, and then Thursday, 3 sets of 3, that's it. And you're not pushing to failure on them either. You're staying a distance away from failure so that you're not getting too fatigued. So those are my recommendations. Stick to 3 to 5 reps. Do that movement 2 days a week, maybe a third, depends, but I'll just say 2 days per week. And don't go too close to failure. It's not that way with bodybuilding training. Bodybuilding training, your goal is to go really close to failure. Strength training is different. You're not trying to go that close to failure. You're trying to lift heavy-ish, consistently lifting heavy, but you don't want the bar to slow down too much. Okay, so you never want to be, if you're a power lifter, 98% of your training, you are never pressing to the point where your bar is moving like this slow. You're usually pressing most of the time where the bar is like, you know, kind of like that. You see what I'm saying? So just lift at an intensity within the 3 to 5 rep range that allows for that for pretty much all of your reps. Hope that helps. Maybe you guys gleaned a little bit of information from that. Hope that helps, guys. All right, we got one more set here on this. So now, since I'm an advanced athlete, I want my traps to grow. What I just did, an upper back row, definitely trains my traps, but I need a little bit more isolation on my traps because I need to get them to perform at a super high level in order for them to grow. Since I was doing a row like this, it was involving a whole bunch of different stuff. So my traps, while they were used, they didn't receive the highest level of performance that they possibly could because my body's worried about coordinating all of these other muscles at the same time. So what I'm gonna do now is remove a bunch of those other muscles and just do a movement for the traps now. It's just gonna be a Kelso shrug. So it's the same thing as a row. It's the same thing as this back here, except I'm just taking the arms out of it. And what that's gonna do is allow my body, my CNS, to send a bigger, more powerful signal to the traps so that these things get used even more than they were getting used in that row. And if I'm advanced, which I am, or you're advanced, that is a great tool in your toolbox, is to do an isolation sort of movement. Beginners don't need to worry about isolations as much. I wouldn't recommend a beginner doing this, okay? You just don't need to. You could. You just don't need to. So here, I'm gonna get the heavies now. set, that's all I need. Whew. Man, oh man. Let me ask you a question. Do you guys actually watch a lot of lives? Like, I'm not on YouTube that often, other than when I upload some and maybe answer some questions or comments on my videos. Do you guys watch a bunch of people? Like, do a lot of people go live on YouTube? Oh, cool. Oh, good to know. Yeah, I kind of feel like most people go live on like Instagram and stuff, you know? Instagram and TikTok. Okay, Zach, Ambrose, got your questions. How many sets per muscle group per week for muscle growth? It depends. I know you hate that answer, but I'm gonna give you something where you can walk away with this. And I already kind of answered this before, but I'll do it again. So, studies have been shown that you can grow with 2 or 3 sets once a week. Now, I'm not saying that's ideal. I'm just saying that that is how low the bar is, 2 or 3 sets, okay? So if you can grow or maintain with 2 or 3 sets, how much do you need to grow? Like at a really good rate? Just a little bit more, okay? That's it. So I would venture to say most of you would benefit from doing anywhere between 3 and 4 sets on the low end for a muscle to grow it, up to maybe 8, 9, 10 sets. You don't really need much, you don't need more than that. If you're training super hard, this assumes that you're training super close to failure, within a rep of failure or so. I like to be super close to failure, almost like, dang, was that failure? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I like to be on that, I like to ride that line. So just bear that in mind. Now, if you're training kind of like, you know, kind of limp-wristed and you're not going in there and pushing for all your worth and you're leaving a bunch of reps in the tank, you might need 15 or 20 sets because you're not pushing that hard. But why are you not pushing that hard? That's my question. You should be in there trying to learn how to push. So that's my recommendation, bro. Split it between 2 days. 2 or 3 sets, maybe 4 sets on Monday, 2, 3, maybe 4 sets on Thursday, or whatever split that you do. See what I'm saying? And here's another great tip. If you have a muscle that you want to grow, put that muscle at the front of your workout. I cannot express how big of a deal that is. Because when you go into the gym, remember, if you want a muscle to grow, that muscle has got to hit that level of performance. It's got a threshold that it needs to cross, a barrier that it needs to hit in order to actually grow, okay? And when you're fatigued, I don't care how hard you're pushing. If you're at the end of your workout, you may be pushing as hard as you possibly can, but since you're fatigued in your central nervous system, to a degree, you don't feel it that much, it's up here in your central nervous system, even if you're pushing hard, you might only be reaching this level right here, just below that threshold that you need to get to, okay? So that's why if you want to prioritize the muscle, you do it at the front part of your workout where you're not dealing with all the fatigue and you can much more easily push to this threshold here. That's why it's a good idea. So if your arms are stubborn, dude, if your chest is stubborn, go in there and put it in the first or second place in your workout. First is always better. I really hope that helps. That is something that helped me so much with my triceps, dude. Like, my triceps have grown a ton in the past year. And I didn't really know if I could grow them that much more, you know? Like, and dude, I put them in the first position of my workout, single arm tricep push downs, just like this, okay? Holding on, just doing one arm at a time. Triceps blew up, dude. And yeah, Tool's in the background, bro. I love Tool. Well, actually, this is which band is this? Pussifer, his other band? I forget. It's good, he's good. It's real good. I mean, dude, are you guys interested in day-of-the-life videos, really? Like, seriously, dude, I only post videos that I feel like I would be interested in, so I kind of have a hard time relating to what maybe you guys might like. I mean, would you guys legitimately be like, I mean, like, vlog stuff? I mean, is that really what you guys enjoy? I have no idea. I'm not particularly, you know, in them, you know, into them. Yeah, I don't know. Vlogging for me kind of, not my style. I'm not saying long form ain't good, but I kind of like to watch a video and just get the info and then get out, you know? I kind of like somebody who doesn't waste my time if I'm gonna try to watch it, you know? So the main difference between bodybuilding and strength training is proximity to failure, how close you're pushing to failure, and the exercises that you do, okay? So the rep ranges are, and the set and rep ranges are pretty similar, like honestly. You know, a lot of guys, ideal bodybuilding is probably in the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rep range, really close to failure. It's not higher than that. You don't need to go higher. But the proximity to failure is the main difference between bodybuilding and strength training. So bodybuilding, I'm gonna do a set, 6 reps, super close to failure or to failure to the point where I can barely move the weight. Strength training, you don't wanna do that. You wanna choose a weight that you're still able to move pretty quickly with. Okay, I'm gonna do my next movement, and we're gonna move to triceps now, guys. So this is the movement that blew my triceps up, because I was doing it at the beginning of my session. So cool tip, guys. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch my last video. I went over this, but I'll tell y'all here. You guys do single arm extensions a lot, right? Well, one of the main things I see people doing wrong with these is when they do an extension. It should go across your body like this, okay? So your arm should be a little bit out from your side, like right here, okay? So that's gonna line up the triceps with the origin on the scapula, okay? And you want the cable to run through your arm. So watch this. If I'm gonna straighten out my arm here, see how the cable's on the inside? It's not in line with my arm. If I move here like this, yeah, I gotta move. I'm a little crunched in there. Check this out. All right. So here. See this? See how the cable is on the inside here? It's not in line with my arm. I need to move in such a way so that when I do the extension now, you can see it running directly through my shoulder, my elbow, all the way through to my wrist. And that dramatically increases how good this is for your triceps. Just make sure that you do that. So aside from that, the other thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is if you want to bias the long head the most, which is what this movement is the best for here, you want it to be the hardest right here in the mid-range, well, beginning range of motion, right here, where the arm is in the mid-range. So right here is where you want this to be the most difficult, right? So what you need to make sure you do is position yourself so that the cable is forming a 90-degree angle with your forearm at that position. So look, here, you see this? This is the mid-range of motion. If I'm back here, see how that's not a 90-degree angle? Well, it's real easy right here, right? It's real hard at the bottom, but it's real easy right here. So what I'm gonna do is move forward so that now it's at a 90-degree angle here. And that's gonna bias the long head even more. Okay, so it's a little tip. I'm not saying that this is necessarily wrong here, but that moving far back here is gonna bias the other heads of the tricep more, just a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna do a live every now and then. I don't wanna overdo stuff like this, you know? Just kind of like a little bit of a, I don't know, just a little spice to the recipe, you know? Felt pretty good. Yo, who do you guys listen to? What kind of music y'all listen to whenever you train? I mean, I got pretty much all my old school stuff, like my old school rap. Like, I don't mind a little bit of Eminem every now and then, but I just can't get down with a lot of the new stuff, dude. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just getting old. Damn, I'm freaking getting old, man. Oh, by the way, guys, let me ask you something. Seriously, check this out. Look, I've been working on something lately. I've been doing a cookbook. No, I'm not trying to sell you a cookbook right now. Don't worry. I'm gonna put it on sale at some point. But listen, legitimately, like cooking content. Like I cook all the time. I freaking love it. I'm like, it's my second passion besides lifting is cooking. Do you guys watch cooking content like for lifting? You know, like low calorie stuff. Is that something you guys are ever interested in? I look like Eminem. Yeah, if Eminem had blonde hair. Yeah, well, we're now getting into the depths of Apple Music. I don't even know what the heck it's doing now. So, not that I don't like this song. Yeah, let me know if you guys love cooking content, man. Because I would love, dude. I make these hamburgers. Okay, I'm finishing up a cut right now. I've eaten 5 hamburgers every single night. Every night that I make, and they are Big Mac recipe recreations and Whopper recipe recreations. I'm having that literally every night because it's so good and I can just make little tweaks to it and I never get sick of it. So even though it's a hamburger, I got different flavors that I'm having all the time so it doesn't get old. And they're low fat, dude. They're low fat, so that's why I'm using it on cut. And you know what I make in the morning? I've got this McGriddle recipe. I legitimately have recreated McDonald's McGriddle, a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. Dude, it's unfreaking believable. I've got so many little tricks. If you guys would be interested in that kind of content, dude, I would love to freaking show you. Just let me know. I will go ham on making videos like that, if you guys like it. Alright, let's change the music. Somehow this doesn't pump me up. Oh, well, I guess my speaker just died, so I guess we ain't listening to anything. It's just a man alone with his thoughts. And the live feed. Let's see. Cool. All right, yeah, if you guys like cooking videos, I'm 100% down. I'll absolutely do it. All right, guys, listen, look, I genuinely appreciate y'all being here for this live. It's really cool to actually connect with you guys and, you know, sort of show you what I do every day. So look, I'll be back at some point. If you see my live again, dude, hop on in, ask me any questions, and dude, I'd love to help you out. So catch y'all later. Until next time, guys.